Good morning. We're live from Fly on the Wall Productions on Facebook and YouTube. We're streamed everywhere you get your podcasts, and we're on the web at airedoutVT.com. I want to thank you for tuning in. I'm JD. Raylene is directly across from me. Good morning, Raylene.
Good morning.
You look lovely today.
Well, thanks.
What are we, 62 degrees right now.
I love it.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. We have a mix of clouds and some sun today. And, for the most part, kind of cloudy, around 70 for the high. That's it.
Perfect.
Wow. Tonight looks like 50 cloudy skies. And, kind of uneventful, unlike last night. And then Wednesday, tomorrow, sunny and clouds, both highs around 75. I see Rutland it's cleaning up this morning. They had it was very isolated last night. Some areas didn't get anything. Didn't even get any rain. Mm-hmm. Some areas got rain. Some areas got heavy rain.
Yeah, they got it Sunday and Monday. So cleaning up after wind damage mostly. Yeah. Some flash floods, but
for Rutland County.
Yeah, mostly wind damage.
Yeah. We had a little cell that came through our house last night, and it was. I mean, I love the weather. You know that, kind of a weather geek. But
and we're watching it closely because we don't know what Debbie's going to do.
Sure.
And it depends on, like always, which station you watch, and every weatherman has their own take, and it's a different take, it seems, but the majority of them are saying a significant amount of rain, and we were supposed to have a really nice weekend, and that's not so much looking that way anymore.
Yeah. Do we know, like, how? First off, can we just say it like it is, that Debbie is kind of a bitch?
Yeah. Her middle name may be Karen.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the people in Florida and Georgia and just everywhere are just inundated with floodwaters. It's
crazy. Some of the photos, and there have been fatalities in the storm. The last I read last night, they had 4 confirmed deaths. I'm sure that has increased by now, but that is the last I read about that last night.
Yeah.
And I didn't look this morning.
Yeah.
Admittedly.
We're going to get back to Debbie here in a second, but we have some breaking news that Minnesota Governor Tim Walz was just announced as Vice President Kamala Harris's running mate. He's 60 years old, and has emerged here from a crowded field of potential VP picks. So here we are.
Here we are.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, W-A-L-Z. So that's that's what we know.
Breaking news.
I've never heard of this guy, but we'll I can share this up on Facebook right now, right?
You can.
Yeah. All right. I just put it up there.
You can. It will not affect us.
All right. So there you have it. That's kind of the breaking news that's just happened right now. I think that Kamala may have been holding off on this because she wanted to just make sure that Aired Out was live and that we were ready to have this.
It was probably super important to her.
Yeah, I'm sure. How about this Elle St. Pierre, or I guess some people call her Ellie, finishing third in her first 1,500-meter race in
Pretty
Paris.
awesome this morning, really early this morning.
Unreal. My God.
It's awesome.
And she's not only from Vermont, but is like a dairy farmer, from what I understand.
Super cool. And it's Dairy Farm Month, right?
Yes.
You know that, right?
I do.
But
because you told me.
yeah, it's awesome that she can be such a role model to young, not just young women, but young kids all over.
Yeah.
But especially here in Vermont.
Great story. And I mean, man, she is badass. Look at her run. My God. I mean, I'll run that fast if.
Me too, for 5 feet.
Well,
10 feet maybe.
I'll run that fast if somebody says free ice cream. I'm going. Look out. Get out of the way. What happened in Essex Junction? You and I were reporting on a story, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, it seems, where this lady was attacked by a pit bull.
I know.
And was taken to the hospital.
Supposedly, she was. Yeah.
Taken to the hospital for injuries, and they were trying to find the owners of the pit.
And
I guess
her
there were
dog was
two pit bulls.
Right, and her dog was supposedly rushed to a vet out of state and in critical condition, and all of that stuff. And it was all a lie. It never happened. Yeah, and I blown away. Wow, just wow. And I hope that she is charged with significantly. I mean, I hope that she gets charged with that, and that she that's a really shitty thing to do, to put it mildly.
I had a conversation yesterday with someone about the world in which we live and how we're all kind of cuckoo, and point your finger at what you will, whether it's COVID or whatever, or the economy or whatever. But man, it's like there's just some really far out stuff that's coming down the pipe these days.
Yeah.
And what's this about? Here's another thing that we've been reporting about a lot. Did I just say reporting? I didn't mean to say that.
Sharing.
Thank you.
Spreading the word.
Thank you, because we're not reporters.
Right.
Wrong way drivers on the interstate. And this morning, there's some news on that.
Yeah, they're warning drivers in Vermont to be alert, and because it's happening a lot. And so far this year, 8 months into the year, there have been 48 wrong way drivers on the interstate. That's just absolutely insane.
48?
Yep. The most recent data available is through June of this year, putting us on track to surpass the 2022 5-year peak of 86. So, and that was a 5-year peak. in 2022. Here we are.
What?
We have 48 wrong way drivers already this year on the interstate. I don't get it.
What's going on?
I mean, some of them have been charged with driving under the influence, but certainly not all of them.
Right.
We know that in a few cases, that's the thing. We don't see it in the news each time it happens.
Right.
Just sometimes is in the news when it's an extreme case or many people have been involved. So it's been all over 911, VT roads, all of that stuff. Then it kind of comes out. But the few cases that we have heard about have been under the influence,
Right.
elderly women.
Yes.
There seemed to be a pretty good run of elderly women for a while.
What are you doing? Are you taking a slam at elderly women drivers?
No, but maybe elderly drivers. I think
Okay.
there comes a point where
Oh,
they don't want to give up their
Yes.
freedom, and that's totally understandable, but
Yes, right.
we should consider the safety of others,
Yeah.
and so maybe talk down the road about some sort of retesting at a certain age,
I
70,
totally-
75.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
And some people totally can. I know a lot of
Absolutely.
people in their 70s and even 80s that they get behind a wheel and they're better drivers than I am. It's just experience.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah, I'm
know.
told I'm told all the time that I drive like an old man, all the time.
you do not.
Do you think I drive?
You're a
fast?
psychopath in the car. You tailgate people so badly, it's not funny.
Really?
When we go anywhere, who drives?
You do.
When you go anywhere with your wife, who drives?
She does every
Hmm.
time. Okay.
I rest my case. That's all I'm saying about that.
At least I know if I'm getting on 89 North or 89 South, Raylene. I got that part figured out.
Yes, you have that part figured out. And I don't know, like sometimes is it truly, and I'm asking this honestly and legitimately, is it because there are so many people from out of state here now? I would like to know the ratio of that. I would like to know, how long have these people lived here? Only because on and off ramps are different in other states. In Massachusetts, a lot of the ramps are on the left. They're not on the right. And a lot of our off ramps are all of our off ramps are on the right, but that's not the case in other states.
Here we go. I'm going to get a text message today. Dear JD, your co-host is slamming Flatlanders.
No, I'm not. I didn't
Repeatedly.
even say Flatlanders
I did.
today. Yeah, today I didn't. I'm just saying I legitimately would like to know, like, is it
What's the deal?
seriously people that are just...
But do we have this problem in New Hampshire? Do we have this problem over in New York?
I don't know.
What's going on with the whole wrong way driver thing, man?
I don't know, but it's frightening, and
Sheesh.
I wish we could figure it out. I mean, striping the roads would be nice. I had to go last night to Bradford, and you can't see. It was a little bit foggy.
Yeah.
It was raining. It
Oh, yeah.
was shitty. And there's no reflectors on the guardrails. There's no lines on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just in this pitch black. Your headlights work, but kind of in the fog. You can't tell where you're going.
I gotcha.
It's bullshit.
I agree.
They need to fix that.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. That's a remarkable. That's remarkable. Those numbers are just unreal.
It's frightening.
What else do we have in Vermont news?
There's not a ton this morning again, which is, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
That there's not a lot going on.
Yeah.
We like to hear that. Tonight is National Night Out, and the Barrie City Police Department and the Barrie City Fire Department will be hosting a community picnic in Career Park, and the weather should be fine for that.
Good.
It's going to be a little cooler, which I actually think is a good thing.
Sure it
so you're
is.
not out there dying. You can actually enjoy yourself.
Right.
So that's all happening tonight at Career Park, and they invite you over. It's free to the community, and you can meet the police officers and meet the firemen, and
Are they cooking? Are they firing up the grill for hot dogs?
They are doing. I'm not really sure what is on the menu for this national night out community picnic, but it's from 6 to 8 at Career Park.
Okay.
And
Free.
I know they would love to see everyone come out.
Yeah, free.
Yeah. It says, let's see, tomorrow, this was yesterday. So today, August 6th at Career Park from 6 to 8, we'll be grilling up hot dogs and burgers courtesy of Capital Candy. There will be a bounce house face painting, dunk tank, race cars. Paco's going to be there. I know that from Race to Read, and other equipment the kids can climb through, as well as other activities. There is also a raffle for a nice grill courtesy of none other than Nelson Ace Hardware. So it's going to be a great event, and I love it. They did it last year.
Yeah.
Or last, they probably have done it for many years, but last year was the first year. I think it was last year. Maybe it was the year before. I don't remember. But I have participated, but only once.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to go down tonight and check it out.
Yeah. Isn't that when Nicholas was being introduced to the community, I think?
I believe.
Is there a limit to how many hot dogs that you can put down?
Well, you should just be courteous of the fact that there are other neighbors and community members there, JD, and not eat like a hog because you want to make sure everybody gets some.
Okay. I think it was 2 years ago that Joe Altsworth came up to me and he's like, dude, are you serious? This is like hot dog number 6, bro. Chill out. Relax. By the way, it's Joe's birthday today.
Well, happy birthday.
Joe Altsworth, our deputy fire chief, is, 58 years old today. So make sure you say happy 58th to Joe Altsworth today. Post it right on his Facebook page or go make fun of him. 58. That's a 5 and then an 8. 58 for Joe Altsworth.
Yeah.
Melanie McLean is on the list today at 25. Seth Iacovone, that guy is unbelievably talented. 45 today. Shayna Marie is 51. Carrie Ann Stevens, Ashley Sweet, Barbara Miranda, I think is how you say the last name, Nicole DuPont, Rich Morey, happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday, Rich.
43 today. Do you have anyone?
That Rich, and I had Ashley Sweet and Rich on
you
my
did?
list. Yes.
Do you know Ashley?
Of course I know Ashley. I've known Ashley for forever and a day, since she was maybe that tall.
How the hell am I supposed to know that?
Yeah,
Of course I know Ashley.
I do.
Today's national...
Because we've talked about her a million times.
Today's National Root Beer Float Day today. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the Capitol Showplace in the Paramount Twin.
Okay.
Also known as FGB Theaters, one of our presenting sponsors. Despicable Me 4, Inside Out 2, Deadpool and Wolverine, which last I checked had pulled in $500 million globally. 500 mil. And that
Wow.
was seriously, that was at least a week ago. Twisters, Trap, Fabulous 4, all at the Capitol and at the Paramount Twin right here in the Granite City. We have Harold and the Purple Crayon and Deadpool and Wolverine. If you want to get tickets for It Ends With Us, that drops August 9th, which is what now?
Friday?
Friday.
It is Friday.
Okay. It ends with us at the Capitol, and then at the Paramount is Borderlands, which also opens Friday. So you can get tickets for either of those movies at both theaters, fgbtheaters.com. They have an all-new website. It is amazing. It is so quick and easy to read. They've done an outstanding job. Let's talk about Jerry's, because things are always happening over at Jerry's.
Yes.
Today's no different.
No, but it's a great place to relax. You can play a game of pool, listen to the jukebox. You can. They have this huge Jenga. They have the giant Connect Four. Always have drink specials going. They have a great appetizer menu. Love the wings. Love the panko shrimp. It's a really cool place to just go in and breathe for a minute.
Air conditioning is always on.
It is.
Okay.
Today it may not be. They may just have the doors open and letting the fresh air in.
I think it's incredible. Starts at 3 o'clock.
Every day.
Yeah. And they just had a huge
couple of days
tequila,
over the weekend. They had an acoustic party and things
water
going on Friday night. And Saturday they had a new tequila tasting and giveaways and all kinds of different things going on over there.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Very nice.
So get on out to Jerry's.
Yes.
Kick back, relax. Right here on 30 Summer Street,
yes,
Barry.
Yes. Let's just mention sports here. Vermont Mountaineers put an end to their season last night, a 5-3 loss in the semifinals to the Sanford Mainers. Huge bummer. And, of course, here's Sherilyn and I last night saying, we really ought to go see the Mountaineers.
Mm-hmm.
Too little, too late.
Yep, you're going to have to wait until next year.
They're done. So they want to thank their fans, of course, their sponsors, their players, their coaches.
They had a great year.
Yeah, they had a great year. They really did. They were fantastic. Let's see. Red Sox 9-5 win over the Kansas City Royals last night. They'll be with them again tonight at 8:10. I think is when they throw the first pitch out. Lake Monsters opened their best of 3 semifinal series against Norwich by scoring 4 runs in the top of the first inning, and then held off a rally for a 5-4 win, Game 1 of the Futures League playoffs at Dodd Stadium. So there you go. Vermont's going to have a chance to advance to its 4th straight Futures League championship round with a victory over Norwich tonight, Centennial Field at 6:35. I've never been to a Lake Monsters game, but
me either. Craig went.
They're great.
Craig went a few weeks ago with a bunch of his buddies, and they had a great time.
If you're just joining us, the breaking news is that Kamala Harris has just announced her running mate will be Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. I don't know much about this guy. I know that he's, probably not part of the hair club for men, but, I know that. But other than that, he I need to do my research on this guy.
Well, then you better do it.
We all do.
Yeah.
We all do. Is there anything else in Vermont?
Good things in Vermont. Washington County Mental Health wants to know if you've been affected by flood stress. Have you been volunteering? Do you need a little relaxation? Because if you do, this Saturday, they are going to have a community wellness day at no cost to you right over here at 23 Summer Street. 30, you can do 30 too. You can go across to 30 after. But 23 Summer Street in Barrie at Well Space.
Okay.
They are going to have all of the things that they have during Wellness Wednesdays, but a little more. So a little more ramped up. But massage, Reiki, let's see, Acu Detox. I've not ever heard of that one yet.
If it's detox, I need it.
Yeah. So there's fun activities for kids. It's just really going to be a day geared toward family and kind of taking a moment to breathe after all of the craziness that
Yeah.
has been going on with the flooding. And they invite the people of Plainfield to please come and join as well. They have not yet found a suitable place to hold something like this in Plainfield, so they're hoping that people will come down and join in.
Okay.
So this Saturday, right here, 23 Summer Street at Well Space, from noon to 4, and at no cost to you. It's just literally come in, and it is upstairs because,
Oh,
as we
obviously.
know, Washington County was also impacted by the floods again, and so they're back to cleaning up their first floor space.
Unreal. Unreal.
But they're
And-
still not stopping.
Right.
They're still right here to help out.
And Heather Slayton was on the air with us the other morning and just had some great insight and information about flood stress in general, and was, of course, on the air talking about the short-term crisis counseling that is available to anyone at no cost, no matter who you are. They don't keep any records, so there's a phone number. You call it, and you speak with a real human being on the other end of the line, right here in Central Vermont, no matter what it is that you're going through. If it's related to flood stress in any way, be it physical, financial, or otherwise, mental stress has impacted pretty much all of us. And they have set up a phone number. They've got counselors that are there to speak with you. 3 to 5 sessions, free. If you go beyond that, they will set you up. They will take very good care of you.
Right.
It's 229-0591. 229-0591. I'm going to put that in the comments here in just a minute. But again, there is no records kept. So you're not in any file as a patient of Washington County Mental Health. They do wonderful things.
I want. There is something else that was posted this morning that I read, and I would love to hear everybody else's take on this and get some comments rolling because I'm a little bit shocked by this.
Okay.
So I have to put this close to my face because this is hard to read.
Yeah.
So, dear parents, players, and spectators, due to the latest decision by Oxbow High School to close the field to outside organizations, we regretfully have to announce that we will need to cancel our 2024 season. This decision did not come lightly to any of us on the board. We made an abundance of calls, but unfortunately could not make it happen to find a place to hold our season. We are hoping that next season Oxbow will open up its facilities for use outside of outside organizations, or we find another football field to use. We've been told by the league to our players can play for other teams. So please let us know if we can notify them if your child will be playing elsewhere. Again, this is not a decision we wanted to make or the outcome we had hoped for. We will see everybody next year. And this is from the Bradford Youth Football Program. Really? Who pays for the field is my question.
That's a good question.
Is a field at a school, does the field belong to the taxpayers or
Just
the school
supervisory
board
union, or?
Yeah, like what is the case here? And you're seriously going to deny these young kids an entire season because they're an outside organization? I just think that's really shitty.
Well,
And I wish it was easier to read, but it's printed on this like shadowed football player in white print. And when you are like me and you cannot see, I was a little bit blown away by that and thought it was pretty shitty.
So, for what age is affected here? Do we know?
Well, I'm not sure what the Bradford Youth Sports Program. I'm not sure what ages that they. I just sent it on over to you in case you want to post this. But to me, it doesn't matter what the ages are. But it's the Bradford Youth Sports Program, so I'm assuming it's probably not high school, but
Sure.
maybe I'm wrong. And
I'm asking you're right. It doesn't matter what their age is, but it's hard. Admittedly, it's harder for me to hear that the real young kids are affected by stuff, whether it's circumstantial or not. It's just hard for me to think that, the real little kids, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all in that swing, because they, and high schoolers too, I should say. But it's like they really need an outlet. For something like this to be pulled, what were the reasons?
I don't know that there have been any reasons. I've looked and looked and looked and looked, and
All right.
I didn't find any real reasoning behind it other than the board decided to close the use of the field to outside organizations. And so being from a different school district or a different school meant that you were an outside organization or not school affiliated. I'm assuming that it's just like Barry Youth Sports. Barry Youth Sports is very different than Spalding High School Sports. It's a program
right.
available to Barry and Barrytown youth.
Sure.
And that would be like telling the kids they can't play at Spalding anymore.
Right. Jen just wrote that someone on that post offered to allow use of their private field, and she says, very sad that schools are discouraging sports.
Well, I'm glad that somebody was able to offer that up to them, and I hope that works for them, because it's just, I don't know, it's just, come on.
Yeah. It'd be great to, and maybe I'll do this today. I'm going to be in the car for a while, but maybe I'll try to reach out to them and see if, they'd be up for a quick little phone call tomorrow morning. And
just
listen,
let's get them what they need to be able to play.
I'm sure, there's always more to the story, and it seems like it would be really difficult to, justify this and legitimize the reasons for taking sports away from kids. But I would love to know what's the rest of the story here. And maybe we'll find out. Maybe I'll do some digging today. Actually, I will do some digging today on this.
Let's figure it out, because it's super sad and Bradford, it's not like Barry.
Right.
Or Montpelier, or even Berlin, where there's other things to do.
Sure.
You're kind of out there in the sticks a little
Hello.
bit. And so what really is it for kids to do? And if this is what they want to do, let's give them a place to do it, for God's sake.
Sure, yeah.
And it keeps them out of trouble. It keeps them learning. It teaches them discipline. It teaches them so many things.
Foundation stuff.
Yeah.
Really important. Yeah. Totally agree. The Swanton border sector is having a particularly difficult time keeping people from staying on their side. Mm-hmm. Illegal crossings have increased at that border alone, record-setting year right now for the number of folks apprehended along the border. Just at the Swanton border sector alone, they are just inundated. And these folks are traveling in groups that are sometimes 15 people or more, and going in groups of a lot of people. So if they get busted, they can split up quickly, and maybe some of them will get across, and maybe some of them won't. But I was reading this story on Channel 5, and it says here, according to numbers provided by the U.S. Border Patrol to NBC5 News, for the fiscal year of 2016, which is a long time ago, agents made 291, and I'm quoting here because they put it in quotes, illegal alien, end quote, apprehensions. So, can I just say here, side note, I think it's ridiculous that they have to put in quotations illegal alien. It's an illegal alien. Plain and simple.
Right, or just plain illegal if you want, whatever you want to say.
You can't say that because
alien.
Then you can't say alien because then you're alienating, you're hurting someone's feelings. Please don't let me boost up my own blood pressure this morning. I don't need to do that. In 2020, 4 years ago, that number went from 291 to 574. 574.
Not surprised at all by any of that.
Crazy.
Yep.
Speaking
in November.
Yeah. Speaking of border crossings, this woman was just charged with trying to smuggle $40,000 worth of box turtles across Lake Champlain into Canada.
Yeah.
Box turtles are worth around $1,400 on the black market. She was able to capture 29 of them and was busted by U.S. States Customs and Border Protection agents.
What makes somebody try to figure out, first of all, how much a turtle is worth on the black market? How do you even know that shit, first of all? And then why would you, I don't know, why would you do such a thing? What the hell?
It's the Chinese black market. And this lady, Wan Yi Nig, was renting a cottage on the Vermont side of the lake, on Lake Champlain, and her husband, I can't pronounce his name, but I did pretty good on the Wan Yi Nig. The husband is renting a lake house on the north side of the border, so he's in Canada. So she gets the 29 turtles,
and it's going to bring them to him,
puts them in the what now? Inflatable kayak to try to paddle up the lake over to hubby's
super smart
cabin to hand off the 29 live eastern box turtles. Again, individually wrapped in socks. Trying to make some cash here. So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see. Let's see what the fine is here for illegally importing turtles.
I bet you it's not deportation.
No. It's a monetary fine to go, to go towards our roads and bridges. $35,000. So.
Then I'm just guessing they can't pay. Yes.
Yeah. Well, maybe they can.
Yeah. Who knows?
Of course they can't.
Did you know that we are less than 60 days away from the heating season?
Stop it.
If your home was damaged by floods, make sure you have a heating plan in place.
That's
That is what
October
the city of
1st.
Barrie would like to tell you.
Yeah.
And they want you to know what to do. Don't wait. Get started now so you'll have everything ready when FEMA arrives. They may take weeks or even months to resolve any applications. Take photos of your damage. Call your homeowners and renters, business insurance, whichever one you have, to see what they will cover. Get estimates for the repairs in writing, and then document.
Okay.
And then go talk to Janet or Michelle at City Hall to make sure that you have necessary permits, because if you are in a floodplain, there are requirements in the fixes, and most fees for flood survivors have been waived. So make sure you do it and do it right so that you don't get penalized later. That's all. And if you need help, please call Efficiency Vermont or attend their little meeting that they're having, and it's all available by Zoom on August 7th, and we have posted the link to that on our page.
And that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. This is there's a lot to be said here. This is a great concern that, I mean, October 1st, the beginning of the heating season, is like tomorrow.
It is.
Wow. And there's so many people that don't.
Right, they don't have heat,
They don't have
or
any
they don't have a plan. They may not even know if their furnace was damaged, because I don't know about you, but over the last couple of weeks, I certainly wouldn't have wanted to fire mine up and let it rip
Yeah.
just to see. I mean, you would have had to crank it to 90, 100 degrees to get it to run.
Well,
And
yeah, and this is a good time to get it cleaned out. You know, if you do have a furnace, because often they're months backed up. You know?
yeah, so make sure that you do that.
Okay. Community calendar stuff. I know we touched on a few things, but this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 67th Vermont Antique and Classic Car Meet. It's at Far Field in Waterbury. They've got a special display of classic station wagons this year, which I think is so cool. Class 29 for late model vehicles, special $500 drawing for judged vehicle owners, the food court, the beer tent, which is put on by the Central Vermont Chamber of Commerce. Ticket prices are affordable. The parking is free. There's race cars there. There's great food, the flea market, the car corral. It's the place to be. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The street dance, the awards ceremony. The parade, by the way, is Saturday. I think it starts around 3:30 coming out of Far Field. So that's going to be huge.
Yeah, and as we said, I mean, it's a busy week here. Tonight, we have the National Night Out.
Yep.
Tomorrow, there is the Farmers Market in City Hall Park, 3:30 to 6:30. And Thursday night is concerts in the park. And this week, Jacob Green
Yeah. Jacob.
joins them. So all kinds of great free events happening throughout the week as well.
Jacob's incredible. And we're going to be talking about fairs. I did have a friend say, hey, did you guys know that the Caledonia County Fair is coming up? And okay, he didn't really sound like that, okay? It was more like, bruh, you know that the Caledonia... It wasn't like that either. August 21st is the Caledonia County Fair. And as we get closer to the 21st, we're going to be talking about it. 178.
Yeah, we try to talk about them all, I think. Yeah.
178 years that fair's been going on. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Craziness. And one of the fairs, and I'm forgetting which one because it just went out of my mind, is thinking that this year may be their last year because they need to find a new site the lease is up on the land that they usually use. I'll have to find that again.
Maybe-
I posted it.
Maybe they could lease the Oxbow football field.
Let's not go there. Back to school bash at Berlin Elementary School. The ladies over there reached out to me. They have a cool craft fair. One of our great friends, Tracy Haynes, always has her booth up there. But they're having their back to school bash, their end of the year kind of last flea market, thing going on up there at the elementary school on the 19th, and they're looking for more people, more vendors, and so they're asking you to join in, and if you'd like to do that, follow the link that I shared to our page.
Okay.
And if you don't want to be a vendor but you want to just check out what's there, that's actually a really cool little flea market, craft fair type thing that they do up there at the elementary school quite often, and it's a great way to sponsor kids and what they're doing.
Yeah.
They do a really good job.
They do a really good job.
They do.
They really do. There was just something recently. I can't remember what it was, but they've always got stuff going on for the community up there at
Yes,
Berlin.
they do, and it's August 19th is when the back to school bash is the final one is on, and if you would like to participate in that, to be a vendor, or if you just want to go,
Yeah.
there you go, click the link.
I want to mention this before I forget. Speaking of vendors, and I know we were just talking about the beer garden at this year's Vermont Antique and Classic Car Meet. The Central Vermont Chamber of Commerce still has opportunities if you would like to sponsor that beer garden for just $500. You get your company's banner hung on the side of the beer garden tent. We're talking about nearly 40,000 people that are going to be seeing that beer garden tent between this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So $500 is actually a really good deal for that many eyes. 229-5711 is the number to call for the Chamber of Commerce if you want to be a sponsor, if you want to get your banner on that beer garden tent. The other thing I wanted to mention is we had an interesting. When I read this, I was like, wow. And after I read it, I noticed that you had posted it. Michelle Hebert wrote something. Of course, William Bravy's BCK Real Estate, also one of our presenting sponsors. She said back in 2008, there was an oversupply of homes for sale. Today, there's an undersupply. The three main sources of inventory show this is not like the last time. Existing homes, and I'm reading here, this is Michelle's words, existing homes, new homes, and foreclosures are all the way below the levels we saw during the housing crash. Inventory data shows there just aren't enough homes available to have a repeat of what happened back in 2008, crash in 2008. I just found that I read that and I'm like, damn, we got to talk about that on the air. And I looked on the page and you had already posted it. But yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions and misinformation out there, and people talk to each other and they're freaking out.
Well, maybe we should have Michelle back in here to talk about this a little bit.
I just shot her a message saying we got to get you back on the air. We have to dig deeper on this.
We're going to have Will on
Friday.
So Friday morning, Will's going to come in here and talk to us all about what's going on over at Optical. They do have some new things that are pretty cool.
Optical Expressions.
We'll talk about some other things too. I have some questions for him about some of the crud that I'm going through. And Will's very knowledgeable of all of that, as you know.
If you look at Raylene right now, those glasses that she's wearing, she just had custom made over at Optical Expressions.
Yes.
We're at the 4th floor of the Blanchard Block. And my specs, I also had made at Optical Expressions.
And Michael Booten had his.
Michael, yes.
Done at Optical. So we love them over there. They're great people. It's so relaxed and they're so helpful. And I did not pick out my glasses. Tim did. I looked and looked and looked and looked, and but I told him what I thought I wanted, and he said, no, you can't have those because you're old and you need bifocals now.
What?
And we can't squeeze all that into those little lenses. So, but he knows all that, and I didn't know that. And then we did the whole, I have a really hard time driving at night because of headlights. A lot of people buy those yellow glasses.
I have them.
They don't work for me. They make me extremely nauseous, and they do not work. And so
I wear those at night.
Because of the problem that I have with my retinas, a pink or a very light gray is what I need to help at nighttime. Okay. So I wouldn't have known that either, but they know that. And so it's really good to have them and know that, yeah.
When I wear my yellow solar shields, drives Sherilyn up the freaking wall. Why are you wearing those? What are you trying to do? Look like Bono? Yeah, I know. And we'll have fun with Will on Friday.
Absolutely.
If you think that Will is going to come in here, we're just going to sit down and talk about boring glasses. Wrongo dongo. We are going to have fun with Will, and he's a little reserved. He's a little, very
he's loosened
professional.
Up a little. Yeah, he's loosened up a little bit though, because he's used to us now. He's a little bit used to us. He knows that we kind of, are
right.
Like to joke around and be asshats sometimes, and he's good with that.
Yes,
Will he just goes with the flow.
He's very good at that. Yes.
So
we can't get Liepert in here though. He's chicken.
Well, he's busy. I mean, they
true.
They are out flat all the time, and they had a retirement. We'll talk about that on Friday as well.
Yeah.
Nicole has left them after many, many, many years for well-deserved retirement.
I'd like to get Tim in here too. Wouldn't that be that'd be fun?
Well, so here's the thing. So Tim would have to be next time. He and Will would need to take turns because one of them has to stay behind to help people, help people get fitted and all of that stuff.
Sure.
So if we have Will, Tim's behind. So next time, Will's going to have to stay behind so we can have Tim.
Understand.
But we can't get them both in here at the same time. It doesn't work.
Do you know, can I just say this right now? I don't mean to sound like a weirdo. I genuinely enjoy talking about our presenting sponsors. I really do. They're such wonderful businesses. KOB Kitchen is our newest. And you're going to be hearing me talking a whole hell of a lot about those guys as well.
Well, you're going to have to go down there and go live.
I plan
Show
on
us what they got. Let me know. What we should find out is, do they have those new countertop stoves? And when I mean countertop, I mean truly countertop. The burners are underneath your countertop. So you can't even see it. It heats your countertop. And you can only have 3 kinds of stone countertop for it to work. Obviously, you're not going to have a laminate countertop. That would not work. But the burners are right under the countertop.
Like the 70s.
So you literally can just wipe everything off and into the sink. You don't even know there's a stove there.
Yeah. Glenn Brummert, help me out. Wasn't that popular in the 70s? I think it was. Yes.
I've never seen such a thing in my life.
I'm pretty sure.
Where you didn't even know there was a stove under there?
I might be thinking of the wrong thing.
Maybe you're just thinking of the Jetsons. I don't know. But
could be.
You can't even see it. Or they have these new sinks. So the sinks are for, which I would love. It's just my dad and I at the house.
Yeah.
We have a dishwasher. I don't need that big old dishwasher.
Right.
Unless it's Christmas, Thanksgiving, something like that where we've had a ton of people over.
Yeah.
I use it. But one side of the sink is a big sink and the other is a dishwasher.
Ooh.
And it's right in the sink. You just open the lid, load up. It can have like 6 plates, 6 cups, 6 bowls, whatever, and then the silverware. And it's literally in your sink.
I'll find out.
I think those 2 things are pretty freaking cool. I'm just saying.
Is it Tuesday night meal and bingo night over at the American Legion? I think it is.
Yeah, it's chicken marsala tonight. And I believe it's 802-479-9058.
You got it.
Yeah.
Call ahead.
Yes, please.
If you're planning on having dinner tonight at the American Legion, just let them know you're coming so they can plan. 479-9058, and they got bingo right afterwards at 6:00.
Perfect.
Oh,
Yes, and don't forget Jerry's.
yeah, Jerry's.
Don't forget Jerry's tonight, and please don't forget to tune in today at noon for It's No Secret.
Please, yes.
I was supposed to have a guest with me. That's not happening, so it's going to be me solo again, which everybody knows I do not like.
You're good at that.
There is stuff that I really, really need to say and talk about today, so
Okay.
I'm just gonna do it to it, and yeah.
Good.
There's a lot of stuff happening that I really don't like, and we need to pull our heads out of our asses and get our shit together, Vermont, when it comes to this. We need to.
You just said ass and shit in the same
I
sentence.
did, because it's extremely frustrating. It's sad. It's scary. It's a lot. And we've got a lot going on right here with continued overdoses on a weekly basis. Xylazine is huge in the community right now, as well as fentanyl. And
There was
yes.
some guy.
Please tune in at noon.
Some guy in Burlington in the news just broke into a pharmacy or something in the middle of the night and kicked through the sheetrock wall into a storage cabinet and got xylazine and testosterone and like all this other shit, and they nabbed him.
Yeah,
And I think
well.
he's going to do. I think they said 11 months. 11 months. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
No Secret is part of Fly on the Wall Productions. It's Raylene's show. It's about substance use or
The
use disorder.
Right, exactly.
and mental health.
And mental health and all kinds of stuff that goes with all of that.
And let me assure
And it
you,
is overdose awareness month,
Yep.
and the overdose awareness vigil is on the 31st of this month at Lyman Point Park in White River Junction. I will be there, absolutely, and I'm trying to I'm going to rent a van so that I can take as many people as I possibly can from the treatment court program down there with me, because there's nothing like being there in person
Yeah.
and hearing all of those names read, and it's way different when you're in person. I'm just saying. And I invite anybody and everybody, as many people as possible, to go to that vigil.
I can
It's-
testify to that because I have been hearing about it, but I had never gone, and I went with you a couple of years ago, and it's a huge it has a huge impact on you, whether
Yes,
or not
it does.
whether or not you use drugs or not, whether or
Or
not
right, even if you are totally
Yeah.
clueless about any of it, and you are just a community member
Sure.
that wants to know that for every name that is read, there's somebody like me or you that lost somebody.
Sure.
And their names are being read.
Right.
And it can happen to anybody. It does not matter who you are, where you came from. It affects everyone.
So true. So true. Hey, I was talking with Larry Seiler this morning, and his podcast, Ableton On Air Live, the 27th, which I know is a ways away. He's going to be talking about Paralympics, and I think he may have some Olympians on his show. But
Nice.
so looking forward to that, and we'll be promoting that heavily as we get closer to it. I think that's it for a Tuesday morning here. I know that we're watching the weather here, and there's nothing that's crazy. I mean, obviously we're also watching Debbie, and she's I just had something about Debbie. Where was it? Damn it, I lost it. But we're watching Debbie, and here it is. What is she now? A tropical storm. Okay. So she's weakened a little bit, but moving through Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina this week, at least 5 people have been killed in the southeast United States since Debbie made landfall on Monday morning. Yesterday morning in the Big Bend region. This storm has dumped more than a month's worth of rain in Florida. So we have evacuations that are going on right now. Still, rainfall totals of at least a foot are expected
and
to...
it looks like Myrtle Beach is
crazy.
like right in line next.
More than 12 inches of rain from northern Florida to southeastern North Carolina through Friday night. Especially the coast could get 30 inches of rain in that time frame. So I'll be putting a call into Chris Autry today at some point, checking in on him. So have a marvelous rest of your day. No matter what you're doing today, try to get outside, get some fresh air. We have some clouds and some sun and a comfortable temperature of around 71 degrees. So enjoy your day. And thanks, Raylene, for bringing what you bring.
Thanks.
And have
a great day.
Have a marvelous day.
See you at the park.
Yeah. What time is that?
4 to 8.
Today.
Yes. National Night Out.
Over at Courier Park. Okay. Hot dogs.
Hamburgers. Fun times for the kids.
Joe Altsworth's birthday. So when you see Joe tonight, make sure you say happy 58th. They were talking about you on the Aired Out podcast. All right. Sherilyn says to me, I come out with my new shirt on.
Oh, God.
And Sherilyn says, really? It looks like women's underwear. Do you really have to wear a shirt like that in public? Do they sell men's clothes where you got that shirt? This is the kind of shit that I have to deal with, Raylene. Fuck. Does anyone like my shirt? I like it. Doesn't look like women's underwear. Do you like my shirt? Have a great day, everyone.